Make sure you mark your calendars for Wednesday, August 5th, 2020 from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. There's a new bike night that's going to be happening every Wednesday, brought to you by the motorcycle attorneys at 911bikerlaw.com. It'll be happening at the King Crab Shack at 2021 East Colonial Drive in Orlando, Florida. I'll be out there. The cameras be out there. Make sure you say what's up when you see me. Hope to see you there. What is going on, people? It is your boy, That Guy Ike. You are checking out another episode of One Race Lifestyle, and today I got a super huge vlog for you. We are here at Orlando Harley Davidson on East Orlando, and we are going to test ride the 2020 Harley Davidson Iron 883. I've never ever ridden a Harley Davidson in my life. It is always a bike that I wanted to try. Before we get started, make sure you click that subscribe, click that like, and bell for notifications. Make sure you check out the website for the cool merch, and I'm going to get straight into the video. Make sure you leave a comment below, share this video if you're interested and you want to see more test rides of cool bikes like this. And if you get a chance, don't forget to stop by East Orlando Harley Davidson. Ask for Greg or ask for Alex. They'll be able to help you out and hook you up with something cool. We are at Harley Davidson. So today I'm riding the 2020 Harley Davidson 883. And first off, it takes some getting used to. I never thought I would ride a Harley. It's definitely doing a lot of rumbling and shaking. So we're gonna see how this goes. The friction zone on this clutch is super far. Let's go. All right. So it takes some getting used to. Number one. And let me pull down this visor first so you can hear me. So it definitely feels weird. The feet placement on the bike is strange. It's definitely something that, you know, I never thought I'd be riding. I'm more of a sport bike kind of guy. So we'll see how it goes. And so far so good, man. I gotta get used to these mirrors though, because I can't see anything behind me. As you see, I got my homeboy Greg. He's actually the salesperson at East Orlando Harley Davidson. I would like to give a shout out to East Orlando Harley Davidson for allowing me the opportunity to come by, check out some of their awesome bikes, you know, and see what they got going on, you know. So we're just gonna ride and give this thing a little bit of a cruise. Like I said, it definitely takes some getting used to, just the way that it sits and everything. And the friction zone on this clutch is super far. Like super far. I do think it's rather smooth though for it to be a Harley. I would have never thought it'd be. The friction zone is just far out for me. I'm like, maybe because I'm more used to my bike. Every bike is going to be different as you ride it. That neutral boy going in a second, but every bike is going to be different as you ride it. Like I said, the friction zone is a little bit far out. I think it's a very cool looking bike. This is a 2020 Harley 883, which is a Sportster model. And so far, I think it's pretty cool, man. Let me know what you think. Should that guy Ike get a Harley Davidson? I don't know how to cancel these blinkers. Okay, so they're self-canceling. So yeah, let me know what you think. Should I get a Harley? This thing rumbles like it's nobody's business. Like that I would definitely tell you. It definitely rumbles like it's nobody's business. Today I just wanted to do something different. I put a post on Facebook, not on Facebook, on Instagram. And I was asking for, you know, if you have like any cool bikes or any cool inventory that you may want me to come check out. And so my homeboy Greg up there from East Orlando Harley Davidson, he reached out to me and was like, yeah, you know, definitely come by and check out some of the bikes, and I'll be happy to take you out. So we set up a day and we're out here. First off, I think the power on the bike, like it moves. It definitely moves. It's definitely a different type of feeling on this motorcycle. I think if you are looking for a new bike and you're maybe looking at Harleys, you need to understand what it is that you're getting into. Again, I don't really care for the placement of my feet, but that can be changed. That's one cool thing about Harley Davidson bikes, is that they're pretty much adjustable and customizable to your lifestyle and your weight and size and stuff like that. So but I don't know if you can hear this thing. But it definitely sounds good. It leans pretty good, you know. It definitely is. Let me see if I can get Greg a run for his money. Yeah, it rides pretty good, man. I think it's a good feeling bike. You know, I think it does what it can do. Greg over there. So I would highly suggest, if you are looking for a motorcycle, definitely check out a Harley Davidson. This is my first time riding a Harley, by the way. I've never ridden a Harley. I've never thought I would ride a Harley Davidson. This is my first time riding one, and it's definitely and it's definitely changed my my outlook on them. Like, you know, when most people see Harley Davidson, they think of old people bikes, and I think this one is pretty cool. I think it rides really good. It's comfortable as hell. Like the seating position on it, this is something I could just sit down and like just ride for hours, because the seat is just that comfortable. I'm not really used to the analog type of gauges on it, as you can see right there, the analog gauge. But it's definitely something that you can sit down and ride for hours, man. I think it's a really, really nice bike. I like the color scheme on this one, black, but we all know I prefer white. Let me know what you think, man. We riding Harleys today, boy. Yeah, man, I hope I can continue to bring you some dope vlogs like this, where we're testing different models. You know, in today's, you know, times, it's kind of hard to get out and about and to get different places, but we're gonna continue to, you know, bring you the dopest content on the internet, man. So if you can, make sure you click that subscribe, make sure you click that like, share the video, and leave a comment below. I'm also gonna put a link to East Orlando Harley down at the bottom. I'll also put in Greg's contact information, so if you want to reach out to Greg, which is my homie right there, you want to reach out to Greg to pick you up a Harley, definitely reach out to him, man. He's definitely the one. He knows his stuff. He's a rider himself, and he's a really cool guy. This Harley right here has 8 miles on it. I'm hoping to put a little bit more than 8 on it. It's definitely very comfortable. Like I said, you know, seating position is awkward. Not the seating position, but the feet position. But as I already said, that, you know, it is customizable to adjust it. This bike is not customized to my likings. Me personally, I would like maybe the gear, the shifter and the brake to be a little bit more forward, especially for this type of seating position on a bike, so that way we can I can be a little bit more comfortable. So if you can see how Greg's feet are up there, his feet are a little bit more out. So if my feet could be a little bit more like that, I think that would be cool. But it's definitely a different riding experience. I think if you ride a sport bike or anything similar to a sport bike, I think my bike is not a super sport. So I just want to be clear before y'all attack me in the comments. It's not a super sport, but I think it's super sport bike-ish. All right, so if you're looking for bikes, make sure you understand what you're looking for, because you have your super sports, you have your nakeds, you have your tourings, you have your cruisers like this Harley here, and you need to understand exactly what it is that you're looking into when you're looking at these motorcycles. Because you might go and sit on a sport bike, and I've said this before, you might go sit on a sport bike and realize that you don't even, that you don't even like them, You might go and sit on a cruiser and realize that you don't like it. You know what I mean? This bike has a little pop in the exhaust note, and everybody that knows me knows that I love a little exhaust pop. The second on this thing, like the shifter for this is awkward. And I say that because it's like in order to go from first to second, it's like a really far throw for me. My bike is just very close. Like it'll jump from first to second to third, no issues. So it's just a very far throw for me. But if I did get another bike, because I'm keeping my bike, I really like my bike, my daughter likes my bike, we worked on it together. I am looking for a newer bike, and if I did get a newer bike, I'll put it like this: if I can get a garage full of bikes, one of them would at least be a Harley Davidson. I think they're just comfortable bikes. I think everybody that's into motorcycles should have at least one. Whether it be a bagger, whether it be a super glide, tri glide, future glide, trike, whatever, Sportster 883, there's so many different models of Harley Davidsons, and they're so comfortable, and you can customize them to whatever you want it to be. I would suggest somebody at least get one. I will tell you this while riding this bike: the heat off this motor, it is hotter than grits on Al Green. And I guess that's because it's an air-cooled. It's my first time riding an air-cooled bike, and the motor on this thing is hot. I'm glad I wore jeans today. I wore jeans and I wore my riding boots, so I'm not squidding at all. We're on a pretty cool ride though. Pretty lengthy ride, man. Usually most test rides is take you around the block or whatever, man. But Greg, he invited me down to the dealership. And if you are looking for a Harley Davidson motorcycle, or any motorcycle for that matter, at least stop by East Orlando Harley Davidson, talk to Greg. He'll go ahead and hook you up and direct you where you need to go, and probably put you on a pretty cool bike. Man, this thing rides. I love the power on it, man. I really do. As you've seen, I did that pull a little bit earlier. But I think it feels good, man. I'm rocking Harley Davidson orange, safety vest today. Yeah, this motor's hot. Woo! I wouldn't suggest I don't know how dudes ride these things with shorts on. Because I got on jeans and riding boots, and I can feel it through those, man. But, that's the Harley life, man. And it's definitely a vibrating motorcycle, man. It's definitely it definitely shakes. I think it's a pretty cool bike though. So far so good. And surprisingly, this bike feels lighter than my bike for some reason. Like when it moves, it just feels more agile, more nimble. I'm actually shocked with the way that it rides. I could definitely feel the heat off the engine though. It's definitely different. I think it feels good. find these freaking pegs on this thing. Woo! You can feel every bump in the road too. Woo! Yeah, this thing moves. Uh-oh, let me slow down. It moves, man. It definitely moves. I think it's a pretty cool bike. Get you one. Now the question is, will I get me a Harley 883? I don't know. I think I would have to ride one a few more times to get used to it. I think I would like one set up more to my body type per se, like the way my legs are positioned and stuff like that, in order to get more comfortable. I mean, I just love motorcycles. It doesn't matter what it is. If it moves, if it's a motorcycle and car, like, I just love them. But I think it's definitely something that you would have to get used to. You definitely have to get used to riding. I can't see myself riding one every day, but that's just me. Like, I love sport bikes. I love the way they sit. I love the way they feel. I love the way they sound. I love the way they look. You know, it's like trying to decide if you want a McLaren, you know, if you want a McLaren or if you want a or a Cadillac. You know what I mean? That's how it is. It's like trying to decide that. You know, and me, I'm more of a McLaren person than a Cadillac person. So I think it just all depends on the type of person that you are and what you like. You know, but I think everybody should have at least one Harley in their in the stash. You know, I think one Harley in the stash would always be good, because you just never know. You might want to get out and cruise. You know, you might want to take the wife out, you know, bring you a backpack along while you're riding. But one thing I'm so used to as well is having a a gear selector, letting you know that, you know, what gear you're in. So it's kind of like, you know, trying to figure out what gear you're in on this thing. Is you got to remember what you're doing. But as it goes on, I'm getting kind of used to the way that it shifts. You know, I think that's going to be with any motorcycle, is figuring out how it shifts and how it feels, because no two motorcycles are going to ride the same. You can actually have, you know, the exact same model of motorcycle built at the exact same factory by the exact same people on the exact same day, and it's going to ride totally different than the one that was built right next to it. So we're pulling back up at East Orlando Harley Davidson. Man, the exhaust on the one that Greg is riding is crazy, yo. Absolutely crazy. So we're pulling back up to the dealership here. And I think it rides kind of good. You know, it's a really cool bike. We got Orlando's finest in the house over there, keeping an eye on things. And I'm gonna do a nice little walk around of this bike. Man, I think this thing sounds good. I think it sounds really good. We pull this back over here to where it was. It definitely takes some getting used to.